This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. Today, we're going to talk about the new Dakota Ray film, Sebastian's Unholy Flesh. This is a nice little thing here. Now, you can get this, and I'll try and see if I can get a link in the description down below to where you can buy one of these as well. I think it was 30 bucks. This Blu-ray comes with an interview, previews, and of course, a trailer for this film. Nice little interview, very similar to the one that you got to have at the Dark Days of Demetrius, I believe it is, and it was still pretty good. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Again, as I go, I am polishing these and improving upon my review format so that it can be less offensive to certain peoples.
I don't know what they have to say, it makes no difference anyway, whatever it is, I'm against it. No matter what it is or who commenced it, I'm against it.
So let's start with plot. The plot of Dark Days of Demetrius is simply one of, this kind of son of Satan. Satan's dead, and he needs to take his place, but he needs this book of power. But there's also another evil demon that's also trying to get a hold of this. So they're kind of competing to who is it that's going to transcend and bring about the end of the world. The plot line is a pretty simple one. It is the first time that Dakota Ray has actually kind of added fantasy into his work, and that is fun. I mean, I am glad to see that he's done it. I think it's a great idea, and still, I thought it was an interesting take on things. There are things such as demonology, vampires, demons, witches, oh my. But also, I could see this set in his characteristic world. So, to me, this storyline could easily take place in the same world of American Antichrist and Dark Days of Demetrius. For all I know, Demetrius could have been sent after him to kill him. I mean, it's hard to say. Or to take the book for himself. I mean, again, this is done in your Dakota Ray fashion. I think that each one is done in a different color palette, and this one is purple, and more on that when I talk about special effects. As far as the plot is concerned, I like the plot. It's pretty good. It's entertaining. It keeps you up and about, but also pacing. Now, I want to add pacing as a separate element because the plot can be amazing, but the pacing can screw it up. And I find that the movies that I have the hardest time with are those where the pacing is terrible. Here, the pacing is all right. When you look at this, a lot of these films are performed a lot like a stage play. You feel these monologues coming as they go, and each of them having their own depth. That mixed with the music and just the general rhythm and feel of it, you can find yourself zoning out a little bit. But that's just a regular flaw that happens. And in a way, I'm not going to say it's a terrible thing, because it just is a general flow, and you feel the flow, and it kind of carries you away with it. Now, with that being said, I want to cover music, because music does play a part in this. I love the music in most of these, and this one is no exception. It carries the tone, and yes, it does contribute to that kind of carried away feeling, that kind of like feeling that you can get in one of these films. It has a very dark tone, very mysterious, almost a chantiness. You can almost feel what's going on in each of these scenes. So, when wrapping up the plot, let's look at the symbolism. Because when you're talking Dakota Ray film, symbolism is everything. There's a lot of it here. And it is a really cool thing. You've got the symbolism of the various animals being taken out. You've got the mask. You've got the book itself. You've got the various things in the background, like the pentagram in the background of one of the things where he's walking along. You've got all of these things, and they all seem to have some sort of meaning. And I'm sure that if I was willing to dig a little bit deeper and had time to do it, I could find a lot more going on in this than what I was able to find already. And for that, it actually has some rewatchability, because you always miss something on the first one. I like to watch one of these, and that's why it took me so long to get one of these up, because I've had this for a while now, but I like to watch them at least twice so I can get a good look. And once I watched it on my little screen, and once I watched it on the big screen, just so I could get a good look as to what was going on in the background. There's a lot of little nuances here and there that you need to look at. So let's talk acting. Acting is pretty good. I could see this performed on a stage. You get the lights coming down so it gives it all that stained purple tint, and you have it just light up different areas of the stage as you go. People giving their monologues, giving that narration as the time goes. I would pay money to go and see this in a theater done that way. Pre-COVID. Maybe post-COVID. I don't know. You might be looking at this 4 years from now and be like, what is he talking about? But no, I would definitely go to see this performed live. I think that a live performance would make this even more spectacular, because just how it is, it's well suited. The performances are very good in this vein. They emote. They are very much in tune with what you're hearing. Dakota Ray's performance, it is that same one that you're getting for the other two films. So if you've watched those, you'll know what you're getting. But we have a couple others, and their performances are just as good. One of them actually being fairly creepy and disturbing, which really reflects. So with all that being said, let's talk special effects. Now I know I talk fast, but you're going to need to see the film. Special effects, I love how he uses the color. I mean, I think that the different colors do very well, and I think each one of these three films could have been a different stage play with the different lighting elements utilized, and this translates well into this film. Now, this palette has advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that it does make everything look a little bit more eerie. It helps project what you're looking for, and it helps hide some of the imperfections that might exist for having this film be so low budget. But on the other end, sometimes it does too good a job of hiding what they're looking at, and so it can be a little bit of a mixed bag. I think it falls more on the positive end than the negative end, but I'm not gonna say 100%. I liked some of the cool stuff. They're a little bit more when it comes to attempted special effects. You got to see kind of a meteor coming down and crashing. You got to see this vampire-looking creature that he took the book from. That's a pretty cool mask and outfit that they put that together. They worked harder on the special effects this time around than in previous incarnations. So I've got to give him props on that as well. So, in the end, who is this for? Anyone who likes films where there is a lot of deeper meaning, where there's a lot of symbolism. People who like going to these types of monologue-heavy stage plays. These are people that this is a excellent film for. Those that love the Dakota Race style of the last couple of films. If you liked American Antichrist, if you like Dark Days of Demetrius, you will like this. You will love this. This has the same feel, but it has a slight fantasy bent, which gives it a slightly different direction. So it gives it a little bit more freshness if you're getting a little bit tired of that formula. If you wanted something new tossed into the mix, but you still like the same, this is also for you. If you like a good, dark and disturbing Trek, maybe even a noir lover in you, this is the way to go. So that's my thoughts on it. Of course, I did have a special thanks at the end, and I do appreciate that. So thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. And that's not why I like this film so much, because I liked his films long before that. So way back when I first started and I saw American Antichrist, I got fascinated by the title, and I had to see it. So now I have seen, I think, 4 of his films now. The Acid Sorcerer 2 has along that same vein. And I need to see some of the earlier ones. Time is just not with me. And the reviews, because of depression and medical issues and house flooding and all that, they just have piled up. Now I'm finally getting into it. I'm finally getting enough energy to do a little bit of reviewing. And, it takes a lot to throw into one of these. They don't look all that complex, but trust me, it takes more energy than you might think when you're working 60 hours. It's, again, it's a good film. Like I say, around the price of $30. I'm not sure exactly what the DVD would run. The look of it's pretty good on the Blu-ray. I'll include a link to where you can buy your own copy of this down below. Any case, hope you've enjoyed this. Click that like button, hit subscribe, and share. And I like your opinions on the film. Be nice. Don't be too mean if you didn't like it. And if you loved it and you think, oh, he downplayed it too much, don't be too mean about that either. Just tell me what it is that you liked about the film. Tell me what it is that you didn't like about the film. I'm interested. I will even reply to most of these, especially if they're worded nicely, because I want to know. I do. I like it. Sometimes the people down here, they can see things that I haven't. And as I said, there are lots of layers to this. And I always love hearing about stuff that I've missed, because then I can go back and check it out again. So let's go on to the YouTube shoutout. Catch you there. Greetings and welcome to the YouTube shoutout. Today we're going to be talking about All You Can Vegas. I like food. You can tell, can't ya? But I like good food. And some food that's not so good. But in Vegas, there were a lot of good restaurants. I went for about a week and a half a few years ago, maybe about 10. Gosh, how time flies, isn't it? But I got to eat at some amazing spots, got to see some amazing things, and I love seeing stuff about Vegas, how it's adapted. I'd always love to go back, especially for the food. And this guy, he takes you to various areas in Vegas, and you would think, well, if you're just in one place, you wouldn't have enough to really make a channel. That's not true. Vegas has more than enough. You could keep up for years just going to different restaurants and places in Las Vegas. I love seeing it. I love seeing it when Fluffy Gamer goes over there, or when the Goodwill Hunters goes over there, or when What Movie One goes over there. I just like seeing those things. And this channel, it's dedicated to the food. Some amazing things. He tries the different things, lets you know how it is. His wife is there. She also lets you know her opinions. It's just a really fun channel. Gives you a good idea and makes you want to eat those dishes as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, check out this guy's channel. You won't be disappointed. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.